Alright, here's another video. This one here, we've already done some of this in the previous photo, but we'll mess around a little bit more with it. This will just take a second. We're going to do color balance on this one. Not that this image needs a lot of color balance, it really doesn't. But again, you can work with your shadows, your midtones, and your highlights. Now, in this case, the highlights would be, I guess, the sky. It seems pretty good on my screen. Your screen might look a little bit different, and looking at it on your screen from my screen might look a little different too. It looks like there's a little bit of pink up there. So what I can do is I can bring my pinks down, going from either red or magenta, bringing it down. When I do this, I'm noticing on my screen here with the highlights that the sky now is a little whiter and not quite as pink. I can throw in some green, but look what's happening here. It's throwing some green into the trees. Other than that, everything else looks pretty good. If this looks a little too yellow or something, I can always move up the blues. But again, we're talking highlights here. So if we go into the midtones, colors like this, we can play around with this a little bit too. Now just mess around with it and see what happens. But the idea here is that by messing around and by knowing what magenta means and knowing what yellow means, because magenta's sort of a reddish and cyan is kind of a bluish. And by adjusting it, I'm liking what I have here. It didn't take much of an adjustment, but I'm liking how it looks on my screen now. It looks like it's richer colors. I'm going to check the shadows and see. We've got some shadows here in the darker color of the truck. It looks pretty good. It might be a little bit too blue, so I can always move it down here in yellow, but see, that's too much. So it's not bad. So play around with it. When you're happy with how it looks, you may be using a photo that you've chosen yourself, but check it out and see how it looks, and you're getting the idea of how to work with color balance.